Alright guys, today we are out here on the Meepo Cyclone wheels, and this is not my first ride with them. I've had them on for a little bit under 50 miles so far, and today we are going to be testing out their efficiency. So we're on my normal efficiency testing route for wheels, and if you've not seen this before, you should go and check out some of my other wheels reviews, which you can find linked in the iCard. And previously in the past, I've reviewed the Eovan RF airless wheels, the Onzra wheels, and I'm currently preparing a review on the Eovan Mini AT wheels. So we're on the same route today, with the goals being to travel around the just under 7-mile route with an average speed of 15 miles an hour. Splitting it up across 3 segments, with the first segment being around 15 to 20 miles an hour, the second segment being between 20 and 25, and the third being between 15 and 20 again. So our goal today will be to show you kind of a general idea of how the Meepo Cyclone wheels feel compared to some of the other wheels I've ridden, and also get that efficiency number so we can plug it into our table of wheels for the official review, which will be coming in a couple of weeks as soon as I get to 100 miles. Now, I've ridden a lot of wheels in my time on eSkate so far, from urethane to rubber to pneumatic, and honestly after all that, pneumatics are still my favorite. And after I take these off, we'll probably be testing another wheel, but eventually I'll end up back on pneumatics just because they're so comfortable. Now, one of the things that I think Meepo was trying to solve with these wheels was getting better range out of rubber wheels. They claim that these wheels are rubber, and I mean, I believe them, but they're definitely a different compound of rubber than the ones that you will find on the Eovan RF wheels or on the Onzra. The Eovans are a little bit harder, and the Onzra are definitely softer. So when we get back to the official review for these, I'll make sure to test them with my durometer tester, and we'll see exactly how soft they are. But it's important to remember there's a lot of things that affect perceived softness. For these wheels, I'm going to say right now, they're not the softest wheels out there. They don't really compare to the Onzra in terms of pure comfort and its ability to absorb small pebbles and impacts like that. However, spoilers, they tend to have a lot better range. So, you know, whatever Meepo's actual goal was, they might have achieved it. Riding these day to day is pretty nice. Definitely not as easy to blast around as it is on pneumatics, and maybe not as comfortable as Onzra, but they do a quite good job, and I do like these wheels overall. So we're going to break it down and talk about a few of the different categories as I ride along this route. Alright, so I normally talk about a few different things for wheels in my wheel reviews, and while we're riding today, I'm just going to cover a few of them. Since I'm going to put this out as a video anyway, I might as well give you extra information. So first of all, how's the grip? Well, these are rubber wheels, so you can expect to get pretty good grip out of them. In my experience so far, it feels like they have more grip than urethane, but definitely less than the Onzra wheels and less than pneumatics. But for you, losing the range to pneumatics or the Onzras might not be worth it, just for a little bit extra grip. Now, you'll see in my RBEM score exactly how I rate the grip, but as of right now, I probably would give it maybe a point or two less than the Onzras. Now, the next category is probably comfort, and like I mentioned earlier, they're not the most comfortable wheels, but they can be more comfortable than urethane, especially on non-smooth surfaces. Urethane tends to be really awesome on nice smooth asphalt, and these are good on smooth asphalt too, but they're even better on stuff that's a little more rough. because of their shape and their grip pattern, you can have a much more pleasurable experience and not worry about sliding out as much as you might on urethane. So you might take a little bit of a hit on the comfort, but in my opinion, it's probably worth it for the gained confidence on less than satisfactory roads. One thing I will mention is it's really easy to go fast on these. Since they are rubber, you have the extra grip over urethane, you have a little bit more confidence than urethane, and you have a decent size. So it's pretty easy to go at high speeds on these, and I've not experienced any kind of imbalance, and just like urethane wheels, they run pretty true. However, there are some more less satisfactory quality things that I'll talk about in the full review. But overall, they run really true, easy to go fast on them, and there's no weird rattling or anything from the bearings that they provided, so overall I'm pretty happy with it. Another thing that you might be wondering about is how they deal with impacts, because if you're looking to upgrade to a wheel like this, you might be looking to have a nicer ride for your feet. Now, unfortunately, these actually are not super strong in the impact absorption category. Like I said, have ridden quite a few different urethane and rubber wheels, and I would say these are maybe even a step down from 72A urethane, like the Torque Board's 110mm wheels. And it's unfortunate because they have a lot of other good qualities, but you know, since these are rubber and they have a metal core, they just end up transferring a lot more impact into your feet than you might expect. If these were a softer rubber, they'd probably transfer less impact, but at the same time, you'd get less range. So, you know, when you're trying to balance these things, if they even thought of all these things, it can be a little bit difficult. So, overall, impact-wise, they're probably in between. Well, they're less than soft urethane, they're better than hard urethane. So, I would say these fall somewhere between the 72A Torque Board's 110 wheels and the maybe the 78A ones, somewhere in between there. Now, grip on these wheels is very interesting, and some people have told me, I've talked to them about these wheels, and they've said, oh, the grip isn't super great, it's not as good as rubber, it's not as good as some urethane. But I found the grip to be pretty decent. Again, this might depend on the road you're riding on, but on both smooth roads and rougher roads, I found that they do pretty well. I think as you wear these down, like the cloud wheels, the contact patch will increase in size because of the tread pattern. And with that, I think the grip will improve as well. Since they're rubber, they don't need as much of a contact patch to provide adequate grip. But even as they are right now at less than 50 miles, I am still able to carve just fine on these, and they honestly sound really cool with that tread pattern. Now, you might also be wondering about the tread pattern. You can feel it, especially on smooth roads, but it's not annoying. Even though there is some amount of impact transfer to you, it's really not that bad, and it doesn't give you gravel foot or something like that where you get fatigued from all the vibration. Now, as we were riding along here, there's two other things that I thought might be interesting to mention. One of those is off-road capability. Now, I've ridden these off-road on some gravel paths a little bit so far, and I'll let you know they're not great. However, they will hold up better than something smooth like the Torqueward 110 or the Hoyt 111mm wheels. You'll be able to do similar things to what cloud wheels would be able to do. However, it's not going to be as comfortable as cloud wheels, since these are definitely a lot harder than cloud wheels. So you can try it, but definitely don't buy these with the idea of running them as an alternative to an all-terrain tire. The final thing that we're going to talk about here before I meet you guys at the end of the efficiency test is the rolling resistance. Now, like I mentioned earlier a couple times, these are harder than Onzer wheels, definitely harder than pneumatic wheels, and because of that, they have a lot less rolling resistance than some of the other rubber wheels. I would think the rolling resistance of these is similar to the RF 125s, maybe a little bit less maybe. It's hard to say comparing these things subjectively, but it's pretty good, and it would fall for me somewhere between cloud wheels and urethane. So not bad, but not the most efficient out there either. And I think at the end of this test, you will find that the efficiency number reflects that as well. I already know some average efficiency numbers off the top of my head from my testing thus far, so I'm expecting today's number to be pretty similar to those. There was a good bit of wind today, but I'm going forwards and backwards against it, so hopefully that will even out. We're on the bumpy bridge right now, and the experience is about what I would expect for a 110mm wheel. Not terrible, but not great. Anyways, I will meet you guys back at the end of the efficiency test and let you know what the numbers are. Later. Okay guys, so I just finished the efficiency test and it's time to take a look at the results. Now, based off of my average thus far with the other miles that I've done, I'm expecting around 24 watt hours per mile. So let's see what it came out to. Okay, so it came out a little bit higher than I expected, but I haven't been on any hills in those other rides that I did, and we had some wind today, so that might have affected it a little bit, but our number is 27.1 watt hours per mile. I don't remember off the top of my head how that compares to my other wheels. It sounds kind of high, but not nearly as bad as pneumatics. So we'll have to go and compare that. Again, the wind might have affected it a little bit today. Hopefully that doesn't skew it too much, but I'll let you guys know what my average overall is in the full review as well. But for now, that's all we got for this video, and stay safe, keep on riding, and peace out.